Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. Today we have to start with a very new topic, that is respiration. Okay. What is respiration?
Yes.
Any one of you? What is respiration?
The process taking oxygen from outside the body to fulfill the requirements of the body.
Okay. There is some problem with my hearing device, so I can't hear you properly. But if you have any doubt regarding the session, you can ask me in the chat box. Okay. Martin, I hope this is your first class, I think.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, no worry. This is we will start with a fresh topic, that is respiration. Okay. Respiration. Respiration. I have already told you about nutrition in previous classes. Okay. What happened in respiration is that, give me a second. Okay. What happened in respiration is that, suppose this is a cell. Suppose this is a cell. We all are made up of cell. And suppose this is a blood vessel. Suppose this is a blood vessel. Okay. What will a blood vessel do? We all eat food. Food will be digested in our digestive system. So blood will carry digested food. What will blood will carry? What? Digested food. Digested food. And this food will be transferred into the cell. So suppose this is a food. Okay. These foods. And blood will also carry what? Oxygen. Blood will also carry oxygen. This will also enter into what, beta? This will also enter into this will also enter into oxygen. Inside cell, what will happen inside cell? Suppose you have eaten glucose. So this glucose molecule, C6H12O6, with the help of oxygen, will break down into what, beta? CO2 plus H2O plus energy. Energy in the form of ATP. What is ATP? ATP is adenosine triphosphate. What is ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. What is adenosine triphosphate? It is a form of energy. You can call this as a energy currency. Okay, it is a form of energy. It is an energy currency. So what is respiration? Respiration is the process by which an organism or a cell break the smaller food particle into energy. This process is called respiration. Okay, do you get my point? Okay, now I will write down the definition for you. Okay. So we will start with the definition first. Okay. The definition of respiration would be the process by which living being utilizes the food. The process by which living being utilizes the food. Utilizes the food to get energy. To get energy. Energy is called respiration. Is called respiration. What is respiration? The process by which living being utilize the food to get energy. Yani in respiration, what we will do? We will convert the food. We will convert the food into what? Which type of food we are talking about? Absorbable food. We will convert the food into energy. This process is called as respiration. Okay. Okay. Do you know about types of cell? Hamna, Martin, Arshia, do you have any idea how many types of cells are present? Prokaryotic or eukaryotic cell? Amna, Martin, Arshia, anyone?
No.
Okay. Okay. So what will happen? This will happen inside the cell. Okay. This process will happen inside the cell, or you can write another definition. The process by which food is converted into energy. The process by which food is converted into energy is called what, beta? Respiration. Before we get into the respiration part, first I will tell you about cell. Okay. So there are two type of cell. There are how many type of cell present in our earth? There are two types of cell present in our earth. The first one is prokaryotic cell. What, beta? Prokaryotic cell. You must have heard this in class 9. Okay. Prokaryotic cell. And the second one is eukaryotic cell. The second one is what, beta? Eukaryotic cell. Organism made up of prokaryotic cell. Organism made up of prokaryotic cells are basically organism made up of made up of prokaryotic cell. We all are organism. I am a human. I am also an organism, है ना? So organism made up of prokaryotic cell is always unicellular. Unicellular. Okay. Yeah. Those organisms which are made up of prokaryotic cell are always what, beta? Are always unicellular, made up of only one cell. But organism made up of eukaryotic cell. Organism made up of eukaryotic cell can either be unicellular or multicellular. Unicellular or multicellular. Have you heard about bacteria?
Yes, sir.
Bacteria is a unicellular organism which is made up of prokaryotic cell. So for example, I can write bacteria is a prokaryotic cell. Okay. And eukaryotic, what are the examples of eukaryotic cells? Plant, animal, amoeba, these all are made up of eukaryotic cell. Okay. Let me give you an example. How does prokaryotic cell look like? Okay. Suppose this is a cell. In prokaryotic, what is this? This is cell membrane. This is cell membrane. Okay. Do we have nucleus in prokaryotic cell? Does a prokaryotic cell contains nucleus?
Yes.
No, you must have heard this in class 9, read this in class 9. Prokaryotic cell do not have any nucleus. Okay. And eukaryotic have nucleus. So suppose this is a eukaryotic cell, then eukaryotic cell must have organelle called nucleus. This is nucleus. Then eukaryotic cell have another organelle which is called what, beta? Mitochondria. Have you heard about this? Mitochondria. So what is the major difference? What is the major difference? Here there is no any nucleus is found. No nucleus. There is no nucleus. And this is jelly-like substance which is called what, beta? Cytoplasm. This is what? This is cytoplasm. Cytoplasm. Okay. There are a lot of difference. You don't need to know all of them. You only need to know that prokaryotic cell also have cytoplasm and eukaryotic cell also have cytoplasm along with nucleus and mitochondria. Okay, so this is a eukaryotic cell. So both prokaryotic cell and eukaryotic cell contains what beta? Contains cytoplasm. But eukaryotic cell have one extra organelle, one extra organ that is called what? Mitochondria. Okay. Please write, copy these, then we will move forward. Abdullah, you have joined late, so let me remind you what we are dealing with. We are dealing with respiration. What is respiration? To convert food into energy. In simple terms, respiration is to convert food into energy. The process by which food is converted into energy is called respiration. Please write down these, then we will move forward. Can I change the slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I have told you what is respiration. To break the food. Which food? Simplest food. Suppose we have taken glucose. What is the formula of glucose? C6H12O6.
Extra.
Very good. So we have to convert this C6H12O6 into what beta? Into energy. So how we are gonna do this? Okay. So respiration involves three processes. We can divide respiration into three process or three part. Okay. We can divide respiration into three part. Okay. The first part, the first part, the first steps. You can call this as a steps. Okay. The first step is called glycolysis. What beta? Glycolysis. The second step is electron transport. Okay, you can say it will be the third step. The second step is Krebs cycle. What? Krebs cycle. And the third and the last step is electron transport chain or system. So how many steps are in respiration? There are three steps in respiration. What beta? The first one is glycolysis. The second one is Krebs cycle. And the third one is what? The third one is electron transport system or chain. Okay. You don't have to study these two. We don't have to study these two steps in detail. We don't have to study these two steps in detail. But I have to tell you about a little bit where this will occur. So these steps, Krebs cycle and electron transport system. You don't have to study these in details. You just have to remember the names. These will occur in these step require two things. How many things required? These step required two things. First one is oxygen. O2. And the second thing is mitochondria. And the second thing is mitochondria. Okay, so where does the Krebs cycle and electron transport system will occur? Krebs cycle and electron transport system or chain will occur in which organelle? Inside which part of cell? Mitochondria. Okay, and where does glycolysis will occur? So glycolysis will occur glycolysis will occur in cytoplasm of the cell. Glycolysis will occur in cytoplasm of the cell. Okay, it does not require oxygen. Okay, uh, let me tell you one thing before getting into details. We can divide respiration into two parts. First one is aerobic and the second one is anaerobic. Have you heard about aerobic respiration and anaerobic respiration? Okay, let me tell you about aerobic. Aerobic respiration, that respiration in which oxygen is required. Oxygen is required. And what is anaerobic respiration? Oxygen is not required. Oxygen is not required. Okay. Tell me one thing. Which step is common to both aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Step, I'm asking you a question. Step common to both aerobic and anaerobic respiration. What I have told you, what is aerobic respiration? That type of respiration which required what, beta? Which required oxygen. That respiration is called aerobic respiration. That respiration which does not require oxygen is called anaerobic respiration. I have told you there are how many steps in respiration? There are 3 steps: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, and ETC, electron transport system, ETC. Okay, these two steps will require oxygen, and glycolysis will not require oxygen. So can I tell the glycolysis is common step between aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Am I right? Common step between aerobic and anaerobic respiration. What is the key difference which differentiate aerobic and anaerobic respiration? Oxygen. So in glycolysis, we do not require oxygen. Okay, so I can say this step is common for both aerobic and aerobic respiration. Okay, beta, can you tell me, is Krebs cycle Krebs cycle will occur in which cell? Prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell? Krebs cycle will occur in which cell? Prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell? You have to respond or via chat box or via your mic.
Prokaryotic.
I have what do I have asked you what which is the, please repeat the question. Okay, please copy this. Please copy the slide. Amna, do you have any problem? Any
No,
doubt?
sir.
Okay, very
No,
good.
sir.
Done with this slide?
Yeah, done, sir.
Done. Okay. I have told you that these two steps, Krebs cycle, this Krebs cycle and etc required which organelle? Required mitochondria. Yes or no? These two steps will require which organ? Mitochondria. Okay. You can see in the diagram that prokaryotic cell only have what, beta? Cytoplasm. Prokaryotic cell do not contain any mitochondria. But here you can see that eukaryotic cell contain what? Mitochondria. That it will perform all three functions. Yani glycolysis is the common step. I can write glycolysis is the common step. Is glycolysis is the common step for both what? Both prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell. But Krebs cycle and electron transport chain or system, these two steps will only occur. These two steps will only occur in eukaryotes. Yes or no? Eukaryotic cell. Write down the last statement, then we will move forward. You can also take a screenshot if you are not able to write.
Sir, completed.
Completely? Okay. Let me change the slide for you. So you already know, I will dictate this in later classes. What is the difference between aerobic and anaerobic respiration at the end? Okay. But for your sake, what is aerobic respiration? That respiration which required oxygen. What is anaerobic respiration? That respiration which does not require oxygen. So aerobic respiration will only occur in what? Eukaryotic cell. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Because eukaryotic cell contains mitochondria, and for aerobic respiration we require oxygen, and in mitochondria we can use what? Krebs cycle and ETS. Okay, and anaerobic respiration can occur in both in eukaryotic cell as well as prokaryotic cell. Okay, I will dictate this in later classes. Okay, prokaryotic cell. You don't have to worry about the difference between an anaerobic and aerobic respiration. Okay, let me move forward. Okay, let me discuss the first step. That is glycolysis. Yes, glycolysis. So what is our aim? Our aim is to convert food into what? Energy. Yani we have to break the food into energy. Okay, so just give me the example of food. Digested food. What is the example of digested food? Glucose. Yes or not?
Yes, sir.
We convert all the carbohydrates into glucose. So suppose this is glucose. What is the formula of glucose? C6H12O6. This is glucose molecule. We have to convert this glucose molecule into ATP. What is ATP? Energy currency of the cell. So what will happen? First step is what, beta? Glycolysis does not require oxygen. Oxygen required or not? No oxygen required. What is the location of this step? Cytoplasm of the cell, cytoplasm of the cell. So what will happen? This glucose molecule will convert into a product called pyruvate. Have you heard about the compound called pyruvate? Okay, let me write down for you. The formula for pyruvate is CH3 C double bond O COOH. This is pyruvate. This is pyruvate. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. What is the molecular formula? Can you tell me the molecular formula by looking at the structure? How many oxygen? How many carbon? C3. Yes, you can see 1,
Yeah.
2, 3. C3. How many hydrogen is present in this? 4. H4.
4. Yeah, 4.
Okay, 3 here and 1 here. H4. And how many oxygens are present? You can say
3.
3 oxygen. Okay. Initially, how many carbon do we have in glucose? 6 carbon. And how many carbon is present in pyruvate? 3 carbon. How many carbon is present here? 3 carbon. How many carbon is present in glucose? 6 carbon. So how many pyruvate molecule can one glucose form? This glucose contains 6 carbon and this pyruvate contains 3 carbon. So this is a one molecule, or how many molecule we have taken? This is one molecule or more than one molecule? This is a one molecule made up of 6 carbon. This is pyruvate is also a one molecule, but it contains 3 carbon. How many carbon? 3 carbon. So we will get 2 pyruvate molecule, yes or no? How many pyruvate? We will get 2 pyruvate molecule. In this process, this is a long, this is a, here you can see, here you can say that glucose is converting into what, beta? Converting into pyruvate. You can see a single step reaction. But in reality, this step that you see is composed of 10 reactions. Okay, composed of how many reactions? 10 reactions. You don't have to study all those reactions. You only have to remember what is glycolysis. In glycolysis, the glucose molecule get converted into pyruvate, 2 pyruvate molecule. What is the formula of pyruvate? CH3 C double bond O COOH. What is COOH? This is carboxylic acid. This is carboxylic acid. You will study this in chemistry. Okay, this is carboxylic acid. And what is C double bond O? This is called as ketone. This is called as ketone. Okay. You will study all these in carbon. There is a chapter for carbon and its compound. Yes or no? In chemistry. So you will study this ketone and carboxylic acid in chemistry. You don't have to worry about this. In this reaction, 2 ATP molecule will form. How many ATP molecule will form? How many ATP molecule will form, beta? 2 ATP molecule. How many? 2 ATP molecule. Okay. The first step is clear or not? The first step is glycolysis. What will happen in glycolysis? 6 carbon molecule glucose will convert into 3 carbon molecule pyruvate. How many molecule of pyruvate we will get? We will get 2 molecule of pyruvate. Please copy this. If done, then let me know.
That's CH3 of that. Can you show that?
CH3 is called methyl.
After CH3 is what?
CH3 is methyl. You are asking what is the name of CH3?
No, after CH3.
After CH3, it's
What is
written
that?
C double bond O. This is the structure. Can I move forward, beta?
Yeah, yes,
Yes, sir.
Martin, you are still writing.
I finished, sir.
Okay. Please let me know if you are done with this.
Well done, sir.
Okay. Now, this is the common step which will occur in all living organisms. If either you are talking about yeast or bacteria or human or plant, this step is common in all living organisms. So this step is what, beta? This step is universal. This step is universal. Universal. What does this mean? Common in all living organisms. Common in all living organisms. Okay, just remember this. This step is universal, means that it is common in all living organisms. Okay, either it is bacteria or it is you. Okay, now what will happen to pyruvate? Now what will happen to pyruvate? We have get what, beta? Pyruvate. What is the formula of pyruvate? If you don't know, I don't know the formula of pyruvate, but I know the structure of pyruvate. This is the structure of pyruvate. I can count all the carbon, I can count all the hydrogen, I can count all the oxygen, then I can get the formula. What is that? Is C3H, what H, how many? H4 and O3. Okay. Now what will happen? We will take three examples. We will take three examples. Okay. First, most of the living organism is made up of prokaryotic cell or eukaryotic cell. I have told you there are two types of cell, prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Prokaryotic cell will always form which type of organism? Unicellular organism. Organism made up of single cell. And eukaryotic cell will form both unicellular organism as well as what, beta? Multicellular organism. So we humans are made up of which cell? Eukaryotic or prokaryotic? Arshia, Hamna. We are
Yes, sir.
multicellular organism, and prokaryotic cell will never form multicellular organism. So we are made up of eukaryotic cell. So you can say plants, yes, humans, most of the animals, all are made up of what, beta? Prokaryotic cell. What is the example of eukaryotic cell, which is unicellular organism? So have you heard about yeast? Have you heard about yeast? Yeast used in a baking powder, used in bakery to make dough for the pizza or different kind of breads. Okay. So we will take, suppose we will take one example of human. Okay. So we will take eukaryotic cell. What, beta? Eukaryotic cell. Eukaryotic cell. In all living organism, first step will be common. First step, that is, this step will be followed by all living organism. After this, different organism will follow different path. After making pyruvate, after making 2 ATP, different organism will follow different path. We will see different path. First, we will take the example of eukaryotic cell. For example, humans. Let us take the example of humans. The second example we will take is what, beta? The second example is we will take is of yeast. 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 What is yeast? Yeast is unicellular eukaryotic organism. Unicellular eukaryotic organism. And the third step, the third path we will follow is, have you done physical activity in your schools? When we do a lot of physical activity, we feel pain in our muscles or not? Have you felt the pain after doing very hard lifting or something like that? After doing hard training in gym? Have you done physical activities in your school? Yes or no?
Yeah, yes.
When we do a lot of physical activity, after 12 to 14 hours or after a day, we feel pain in our muscles. Yes or no? Yes. You all are young, so you don't have to worry about the pain. But most of us, adults, most of the adults, when we work very hard, when we do lot of physical activities in a single day, then we feel pain in muscle. So then the third step is what, beta? Third path we will follow, humans in absence of humans, when do lot of physical activity, when do lot of physical activity. So what will happen to pyruvate in eukaryotic cell? In what will happen in eukaryotic cell? Let me write down for you. First glucose will be converted into what, beta? Pyruvate, pyruvate, pyruvate. Yes or no? And we get how many ATP? 2 ATP. Yes or no? Am I right or wrong? Okay. What
Yeah.
will happen now? What will happen to pyruvate? This pyruvate, what is the formula of pyruvate? C3H4O3. This pyruvate will break down into carbon dioxide. Into what, beta? Into carbon dioxide and water. Into, beta, carbon dioxide and water. And the third product, it will form what, beta? Energy. Energy in the form of what, bacha? Energy in the form of ATP. Energy in the form of ATP. uh, this step will occur in where? This step will occur in mitochondria, because eukaryotic cell contain what, beta? Mitochondria. So this step will occur in mitochondria. How many ATP we will get? We will get here we will get 34 ATP. How many ATP, bacha? 34 ATP. So total ATP form, how many ATP we get? Total ATP form. Can you tell me the number of ATP count? What is the ATP count? From C6H12O6 to pyruvate, we get how many ATP, bacha? We get 2 ATP. How many ATP? 2 ATP. From pyruvate to CO2 H2O, we get how many ATP? 34 ATP. Total ATP is what? How many ATP? 36 ATP. Lot of energy. What is the full form of ATP? Adenosine triphosphate. Adenosine triphosphate. Okay. What will happen in yeast? What will happen in yeast? First step is common to all. C6H12O6 will break into what? Bacha, jaldi tell me. Break into pyruvate. And how many energy it will release? It will release 2 ATP. Yes or no? This is the common step, na? This will release 2 ATP. Now what will happen to pyruvate? Acha, here we required oxygen or not? Here we required oxygen. Here we don't have oxygen. Here we don't have mitochondria. In yeast, there is no mitochondria, and suppose there is no oxygen. So this pyruvate will break into lactic acid. What, beta? Sorry. Slide correction. This pyruvate will convert into ethanol. What? A compound named ethanol and CO2. And what, beta? CO2. Okay. How many how many carbon is present in pyruvate? How many carbon is present in pyruvate? See here. How many carbon can you see?
How many?
3 carbon are present in pyruvate.
3 carbon.
Okay. So pyruvate contains 3 carbon. Here you can see 1 carbon. 1 carbon is released in the form of CO2. And the formula of ethanol is C2H5OH. How many carbon can you see here? 2 carbon. So the 3 carbon of pyruvate is divided into ethanol and carbon dioxide. 1 carbon is removed in the form of carbon dioxide and 2 carbon is removed in the form of ethanol. Okay. So what will happen in yeast? The first step is what? Glycolysis. First step is glycolysis. In glycolysis, yeast will convert glucose into pyruvate. Then pyruvate, in the absence of oxygen, in the absence of mitochondria, it will convert itself into ethanol plus what beta? Ethanol plus CO2. What is ethanol? What is ethanol? Have you heard about the term ethanol?
It's alcohol.
Ethanol is basically liquor. Liquor is what? Basically wine or a beer. Okay, sharab, liquor. So ethanol is basically liquor. Liquor is an alcoholic drink. All alcohol which human consumes are ethanol. Okay. So yeast can be used to make what beta? To make different kind of alcoholic beverages. Okay, because yeast will produce what beta? Yeast will produce ethanol, and this ethanol is what beta? Is nothing but a alcohol. This ethanol is what? Nothing but alcohol which human consumes. Okay. Do you have any doubt? Any of you? Any doubt regarding uh, yeast and eukaryotic cell? None. Please copy the steps in eukaryotic cell and yeast. Then we will move towards human. I will dictate all this in language form in next classes. Okay. I will write all this in statement form like this in next class. Okay. Today you just have to understand the concepts. Okay. Just copy this.
Like ethanol after C2H5OH, what's below that? The glycol.
What you are asking me the formula of ethanol? Am I right?
No, the GLCHO. That's a glycerol.
Glycerol.
Yeah,
No, glycerol and glycerol is also a type of, you can say, alcohol, but we don't drink that alcohol. Which type of alcohol we drink? We drink C2 2 carbon alcohol. Okay, glycerol is also an alcohol which cannot be consumed by human. Okay,
glycol. Oh, alcohol.
uh, I have some problem with my earphone, so can you use chat box?
Alright.
Okay, thank you. Please copy this and let me know if you are done with this slide.
Yeah, done. So.
Done? Okay. Now we will move forward. Okay. Now we will talk about humans. Normally we are not doing any physical activity. So human have two options. I have already told you one option. What beta? What will human do? Human will perform what? Two-step Krebs cycle and ETS in mitochondria and produce how many ATP? 34 ATP in mitochondria. I have already told you this. Human, normal human. Okay. So human, when not doing physical activity, human when not doing physical activity. So first step one, what will happen? Step one is glycolysis. Where does this happen? This will happen in cytoplasm. Okay, so it will happen in cytoplasm. What will happen in glycolysis? I have told you, C6H12O6 will produce what, beta? Produce pyruvate. Okay, and produce how many ATP? 2 ATP. Or you can write 2 ATP here also. Pyruvate plus 2 ATP. And in second step, step 2 will what, beta? Contains Krebs cycle plus ETC. कहां पर होगा? It will happen in where? Happen in mitochondria. In presence of what, beta? In presence of oxygen. Okay. So what will happen? This pyruvate C3H4O3 will convert into what, beta? This C3H4O3 will convert into CO2 plus H2O and give how many ATP? And it will give, tell me, I have already told you, 34 ATP. Yes or no? Let me highlight this for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now what will happen when we are doing physical exercise? When we are doing a lot of physical exercise. Suppose when you are doing a lot of physical exercise, so the energy demand will increase or not? The energy required by the body will increase, yes or no? The energy
Yes, sir.
required by the body. What body? Especially which organ? When we do a lot of physical exercise, our muscles are involved, yes or no? So energy
Yeah,
required
yes.
by the body, that is muscles, will be increased. So generally, which type of respiration we perform? Which type of respiration? Tell me. Aerobic or anaerobic? We perform aerobic. Here you can see we have utilized O2, aerobic respiration. But when we are doing a lot of physical exercise, the energy demand is so high that our body start performing anaerobic respiration also. So to deal with what? To deal with high energy demand, our muscle cell will start performing anaerobic respiration. What? Anaerobic respiration. Okay. Please write down the condition when our body will perform anaerobic respiration. What is the condition? When we have to do a lot of physical exercise. Okay. Then our energy demand will increase. To fulfill this energy demand, our muscle cell will start performing what? Anaerobic respiration. Please copy this. And we will deal with this in next class. Okay. Please copy this. And if you have any doubt, you can ask me. Done with this slide?
Yeah, done, sir.
Those who have done this slide, you can leave if you do not have any doubt.